CGTN.
Joining me now is Pavel Felgenhauer. He's a Moscow-based defence analyst and columnist for the Novaya Gazeta. Thank you very much for your time. Mariupol is on the brink of surrender, as we know, meaning it's the first major city to be taken by Russian forces since the February advancement. What does this mean for Russia's strategy?
Well, it's of course not the first city. Russia has captured a number of cities in the south.
Major city.
They have captured Kherson, which is a provincial capital, and a number of other cities. But this is, of course, a major achievement for the Russian forces when they fully suppress the resistance in Mariupol. But it's not that it's happening immediately. The situation is there is such that most likely they'll have to starve out the remaining Ukrainian resistance because they're hiding underground in Soviet time built anti-nuclear war bomb shelters with shock doors out of steel in an industrial plant, which also has a lot of concrete building and concrete covers.
But by all reports, it looks like Russia's going to be able to take Mariupol. What's next for Russia's strategy?
Well, when they take it, they'll have the units and the assets that are being used in the siege and storming of Mariupol, including very heavy weapons that have been used, will be moved to other positions, to other cities that right now could be under attack in the Donbass. So yes, that's and also there will be a logistic line opened from Russia proper to the troops in Kherson and Berdyansk and other cities that Russia had captured there in the south. That's important. Psychologically, it's important also.
Yeah. But why is Mariupol so important for Russia? Is it about occupying this territory? Of course, we understand that Russia is trying to focus its energies in the east, but given the fact that there is barely anything left of Mariupol, 90% of it has been destroyed, what is the strategy in terms of the use of this port city? Is it to try and isolate the rest of Ukraine as much as possible, given the fact that it's such an important place for trade?
Well, it became a very symbolic point for both Ukraine and Russia. Also, it's administratively part of the Donetsk Oblast, and Russia has recognized Donetsk as an independent mini-state. Also, this was the main port city of the Donbass industrial region, which could be rebuilt, at least, if not a big city, at least as a maybe port facility for import-export operations there. But mostly it's a symbolic right now importance, and also to free the assets that have been tied down there for use in other possible sieges in the Donbass.
What assets are you talking about if 90% of the city's been destroyed?
I mean, the assets of Russian military forces and heavy weapons, super heavy weapons that were used for the siege and storming that could be used against in other places, like heavy mortars, 24-centimeter caliber, and a few bomb missiles, the Sunburn, and of course a lot of troops that would be freed after the resistance there in Mariupol collapses.
And is Kiev still a goal, or will Russia stay satisfied with its gains in the east, do you think? We hear that there is no more morale or appetite for Kiev, but then there's been shelling on the outskirts of the city as well.
No, in Kiev there has been long-range attacks because Russia has the capability to use long-range missiles, cruise missiles and ballistic missiles that can basically reach any target in the entirety of Ukraine. Of course, Ukraine does not have that capability. So that has been happening right now. Kiev is not a target for the time being. It could become a target later on as the summer campaign develops, but most likely it will be mostly use of forces in the south and the east of Ukraine to gain advantage there. Right now, the buildup of forces is happening on both sides. Both sides are preparing for a vigorous and decisive summer campaign.
Pavel, thank you very much for your insight there. Pavel Felgenhauer, he's a Moscow-based defense analyst and columnist for Novaya Gazeta.
Thank you.